Welcome to Dear Feet. I'm Jess.
And I'm Renee.
And we're the Deerfoot Sisters. Today we're talking about birthdays.
Why birthdays?
Well, yesterday was my birthday, June 8th.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
It's the best year of your life.
We'll see.
Well, that's what you always tell people on their birthday.
Well, that's true. What was the best year of your life?
Probably like age 2 to 3.
Really?
I ate a calculator and it was so good. The buttons, like, I just can't get over how delicious they were. It's the best experience I've ever had.
I think the best year of my life was probably 2012.
Oh, 2012. Okay, so like you were 24.
I was 25. But that was when
2012
we
was a really good year because we did a lot of vacations.
We went on a lot of vacations, and it was just like, it was like a fun year. And we would still go out every weekend. Like, it was just fun.
Yeah.
We were still fun.
I mean, I was 22 then, and that is like a really fun age.
Yeah, it's a great age. I've also heard that like 25 and 1.5 twelfths is a great age.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah. Yeah, I liked 2012. I like this past year of my life too. It's been pretty good.
2018.
Yeah, being married.
It's been an emotional roller coaster, though.
Unless you were born on New Year's Day, you can't say 2018 is like a year of your life. I thought you meant like age-wise.
Well,
you mean calendar year?
I kind of meant that, but then like I was just thinking like 2012, but it probably 2012 to 2013 was my best year.
You have to say your age.
25, because that was when we went on a lot of vacations. That was also when we went to Niagara Falls, and we just had like a lot of fun that year.
Yeah. Well, last night at your birthday, we were talking about a celebration, or not a celebration, but we were just talking about funny stories. And
you mean at my birthday dinner?
Yeah. What'd I say?
You're like, at your birthday.
Okay. At your birthday celebration, which was hibachi, we were talking about funny stories, and I was talking about how when we were on that trip in Niagara Falls, there was a guy, and I was like walking towards the bathroom, and the guy stopped me, and he was like, high five. And I was like, high 10? Like, I'll do you one better. So then we high 10'd, and then I like started walking past towards the bathroom, and another girl came the other direction, and he saw her, and he was like, high 10. But then a look of sheer terror across his face as he realized she only had one arm. So she just gave him a high five and kept walking. I don't know if she heard him say high 10 or if she even noticed his other arm. It was kind of like a loud bar. But I happened to notice his face, and it was just so funny to me always because I'm like, who gives high 10s? Like, I definitely initiated that very awkward encounter for that young man, and he probably remembers it to this day.
It is funny. At that same bar, I met someone.
Oh, you did the love of your life that you lost?
Anyway, no, he was really cute. He was really nice. He was a lawyer. He had dual citizenship because his mom was like from New York. I think he was born in New York, but he was also Canadian. He was like a criminal defense attorney in Toronto or whatever. But I don't know, I didn't get his phone number, and I was like, or any contact info, and I was like, Jets, he could have been like...
Do you remember his name?
Match. No, I don't remember. We were like both drinking. It was karaoke.
Just saying, like, if he's like a criminal defense attorney, it might be easy to find him.
I don't know. I mean, he was like a public defender, I think. Well, I don't know.
Interesting.
But yeah, anyway, so that was a fun trip. So we're also talking about birthdays because this is our Sweet 16, our 16th podcast.
Yeah, sour
Woo!
16. No, it's been pretty sweet so far. So now we're celebrating our 16th podcast. Very exciting. And we have one bonus episode. That's why the number of the episodes is like always one off from our...
Yeah, because I marked it as a bonus episode, so I thought that it wouldn't say that it was like episode
number
2.
3 like or whatever,
yeah. Or number 3. That's the song that Renee wrote. The song that she wrote.
It was a song.
Yeah, but you said like, tell them it's really rough. Okay. She sent me the link and the MP3, and she was like, post this and write that it's like really, really rough, and we know that it's just like made in GarageBand with using like tracks, and it's not really good. So I like wrote a description, and then she was like,
really
wow,
mean.
you were really, really harsh in your description. And I'm like, you told me to write it like that.
I didn't mean like, I meant more be like, oh, here's like a project. We know it's not perfectly polished, but obviously we're not musicians. And she was like, here's a song that Renee wrote with air quotes. We know it's not good. Okay. And then I was like, oh, okay. That was really mean.
I'm sorry. I thought it was good.
Okay, well, I'm glad.
Anyway, so we're going to be having a little birthday party for the Deerfoot sisters.
Woohoo!
So it's going to be on Monday, June 17th at 8 p.m. And everyone is invited.
Via Facebook.
Yep, it's going to be a Facebook Live birthday celebration. So join us. It will be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, EST.
7 p.m. Central.
6 p.m. whatever's after Central. Mountain Time. And we do have some listeners in like Ireland, so it'll be pretty late for them.
Yeah, it will be like 1 a.m. or something.
You can stay up. It's worth it.
Totally. You could also always catch it on the replay. That's what everyone who does Facebook Live says.
I guess that's what we'll have to say then.
Anyway, so you can also just make sure that you like our Facebook page, which is Dear Feet Podcast, in order to get notified when we go live. But you'll obviously be primed waiting for us because you definitely want to come to our party. It is going to be the party of the millennium.
You're setting this up really... We haven't even planned the party yet. I feel like the expectations are getting pretty high. I don't want to have to go on and be like, I know just that this is going to be the party of the millennium, but this is like a party that just threw. It's bad.
It's really, really rough.
It's a really rough party. All she had is 2 bags of chips for 100 people.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Okay, so anyway, so we're going to move on.
We're going to talk a little bit about some birthday experiences we've had. Oh, but actually I had an update before we started.
Okay. Well, first we were just going to say that it's our Sweet 16, and this is going to be our final episode of season 1. We'll be coming back in the fall. We're both just really busy in the summer, so we're going to take a little break for summer, and then we'll be back in the fall too. We'll still be active on social media, but we're not going to have any like new episodes coming out in the summer. So just make sure to check back in with us in like September or whatever.
Right. And I will say we'll try to keep up our movie reviews. Maybe we'll do blog posts with movie reviews. So if you're like looking into the summer blockbusters, you can get some advice, get our thumbs, you know.
Yeah.
I know we're obviously the authority you come to when you're watching new movies, so we don't want to leave you hanging.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And then...
Yeah, so I was going to update. Remember how last week we were talking about closed captioning?
Oh, yeah.
So I have an update because today I was watching Pokemon with Finn. We were watching one of the Pokemon movies. And it was so funny because the captioning for Pokemon, since the Pokemon just say their own names, instead of saying what they're saying, it just puts in brackets the emotion with which they're saying it. So it's like Pikachu was like, oh, Pika. And it was like, concerned. And then he was like, Pika, Pika? And it was like, curious. And then he was like, Pikachu! And it was like, insistent. I was like, this is so funny. It was like it was very cute.
That's
I was like,
amazing.
oh, it's really funny.
Or, as I say, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, do you know what insistent is? He's like, yeah, I know what insistent is. That's like a helper person. And I was like, well, that's like an assistant. I was like, but that's pretty close.
So today he was telling me about, is that thing a Pokemon?
What?
The Scizor thing?
Yeah.
So he was telling me about it, and he's like, it's Scizor, and it's this like Lego knockoff thing that he bought that's like the Pokemon, and then there's a little tree, and it has these like, what are they called? Scythes?
Yeah.
It has the scythes, and it chops down the tree, but he was like, Scizor, so I thought it was like
scissors?
Yeah.
She just did air scissors.
So I thought it was like Scizor, like your
like
teeth,
scissors,
incisors. Yeah. So I was like, Scizor? He's like, Scizor. And I was like, Scizor. And he's like, Scizor. He's like, it's like Sice and then soar. And he's like, it's like, but he has lost like all of his front teeth, so he has a lisp.
Yeah,
so he's saying it, and he's like, with a TH. And I was like, oh, so it's actually Scythor. Yeah. And I was like, okay, sorry. Because he was like saying it, and I was like, I'm saying it that way. But I thought that his lisp was just his lisp, not he was actually using a TH. And I was like, sorry, buddy, I got really confused. Because he was...
Oh, so he was saying a TH, but you thought that was him lisping? So you...
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Your name's Emily too.
I know. So but it was really cute that he was like with a TH, and I was like, oh, because it was like Scizor, because he kept emphasizing the or part. And I was like, okay. And he was like, no, Scizor, and I was like, okay, Scizor.
That's really funny.
It was interesting.
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway, so what are some of your best or worst birthday experiences?
Okay, so my best birthday experience was probably January 27th, 1990. It was when I entered the world, and it was just, like, really beautiful. I remember every detail about it, also because I watched it in a video when I was, like, 7.
Okay, you're so extra. That's so dumb. Okay.
No, my best birthday... it's hard to say, honestly. Like, I've had some pretty good birthdays.
Well, tell us about one of the good ones.
All right, so I would say my birthday party 2 years ago was pretty fun. I had, like, a taco birthday bash at my house, and it was pretty fun. Like, a lot of people came, and I thought it was a good party.
And you made a really fun playlist.
Yeah, I made a playlist, and people liked it, so that's cute. And we were living at my grandma's at the time, and we dressed her up in a little party hat, and she looked so cute. And also, she tried to eat, like, an entire stack. What?
You're basically talking about your grandmother.
Oh, did I say? I didn't say my grandma's dog?
No.
Oh, I thought I said a grandma's
No, you
dog.
said we were living at my grandma's house. We dressed her up.
Okay, well, let me clarify. So I'm going to clarify about that. I didn't mean to say we dressed up my grandma. What I meant to say was we were living at my grandma's house, and she has a dog named Sarah, and we dressed Sarah up in a cute little party hat, which was, like, much more fun for the party than just dressing up your grandma. And
I'm sorry, I was, like, cracking up so much. We actually, like, you're going to be able to tell there was a little cut there because the system overload or whatever. But
I couldn't handle all her laughter.
I was just laughing so much. I was, like, crying, and I'm trying to, like, wipe my eyes off now. But
You didn't have to tell them. They can't see you wiping your eyes.
Well, they could hear me sniffling.
True, gross. Anyway, and also at that birthday party, we, like, were having a bunch of tacos, so we made all different kinds, and I had a huge pack of tortillas from Costco, and I had left them on the table, and then I heard my mom yelling, like, at the dog, "Sarah, no!" And I go and I look, and she had a huge stack of tortillas in her mouth, and it was so big that she couldn't actually, like, close her mouth, and I was like, you overshot it, girl. If you had just taken, like, a quarter of that many tortillas, you probably could have eaten them before we saw you. But since they were so big, so we, like, peeled off layers from the top and bottom, and we're like, are these still good? Because, like, once you got in deep enough, her teeth marks weren't in them anymore. So we didn't use them for the party, but I did save them for later.
For the dog. You saved them for the dog. Oh,
No,
you guys used
I had
them?
some too.
Oh, okay.
There was, like, literally, like, she had, like, 50 tortillas in her
Yeah,
mouth.
it
So
was
only the
crazy.
outer ones
But
had
also,
her
we
teeth
got,
marks.
like, that pack. It was, like, the small tortillas. We got them at Costco.
Yeah.
So we had, like, 350
Hundreds, yeah.
tortillas.
But, I mean, if you went to my birthday party, I didn't feed you dog tortillas, but later I had those dog tortillas.
Which is also why I was laughing, because you were basically saying, like, Nana tried to eat the tortillas.
Tried to steal a huge stack of tortillas. Yeah, no.
Just imagine.
Nana's allowed to have the tortillas if she wants them.
Being like, ha.
Anyway, I thought that was a pretty fun party. I don't know if I've had, like... I mean, I've had other fun parties, but nothing, like, stands out
What
in my
about
mind.
your toga party? You had a toga
That was
party.
pretty fun, yeah. I got slapped in the face with shrimp.
With shrimp?
Yeah. It didn't really work very well, but...
Well.
Because I slapped Joe in the face with one of those cucumbers that was cut, like, really long.
Oh, yeah.
So it was, like, kind of flimsy, so I smacked him, and it, like, really made a slap. And then he tried to smack me in the face with shrimp, but it was kind of just like he rubbed shrimp on my face. It was cooked. Shrimp cocktail. It was a fancy party. It was my 19th birthday party. We had sliced cucumbers and shrimp cocktail and togas.
We used to have really fancy parties. I remember my 21st birthday was really fun, I think. And we had a house party, and we planned it, like... I'm so silly. We, like, made our living room area into the dance party area. So we, like...
Moved all the furniture.
Put curtains up, and, like, we hung, like, a blanket between, like... the entryway to the dining room so that it would be, like, dark in the dancing room, and we, like, pushed all the furniture back.
Because when Jess has parties, she really doesn't like when people turn the lights on, and she hates when they turn the TV on, so she hides all the TV remotes.
Yeah,
she really hates it. So, and then everyone's, like, at the parties, and they're like, it's so dark in here, and we're like, it's called atmosphere, it's called ambiance. Like, please.
Yeah, I know it. But then, like, we did some fun games, like watermelon wrestling, which we describe in our GS's BS episode, which
actually, we never even described it, I don't think. we talked about it, but we never actually said what it was.
Oh, okay. Well, watermelon wrestling is basically like Steal the Bacon, but you're wrestling for a greasy watermelon.
So Steal the Bacon is when you like line up on opposite sides, and each person has a number, and then you call out that number, and those two opposing members of the teams have to go together and try to get the object and bring it back to their side. So in this case, the object is a greasy watermelon covered in Vaseline or baby oil.
And you're wrestling on like a greasy, like a
on
wet
like a wet tarp. So we first played this game at Girl Scout camp, which is weird. And we've then played it since with friends. And it gets pretty aggressive.
Yeah. We had to institute the no biting rule because one of our friends was biting.
She was a biter. She would bite for fun. She just bit all the time.
But then I had a piñata and it was filled with like candy and other things.
Yeah, lots of other more adult piñata stuffers.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun.
And we had other board games and stuff, and it was really fun. And I don't know.
We played Twister.
Yeah, and our grandma made like some food, like some dips for us and stuff. It was like it was real fancy.
Yeah.
We didn't make her wear a party hat, but
and we didn't take away her tortillas. Yeah, that was a
but
fun
yeah,
one.
I mean, I don't think I've had any like bad birthdays. For me, it's mostly like I'll just get gifts I don't really like or need, because like I really don't care about gifts. And I said to our mom that I wanted to stop giving gifts in general, and like for Christmas, because it's just kind of like, why does everyone need to spend a bunch of money buying people stuff? Like, couldn't we just do something fun as a family, or do like a white elephant thing, like a grab bag? Like people are like, oh, do a Secret Santa. I'm like, but a Secret Santa, it's still that like expectation of the gift, and then with the Secret Santa, it's almost worse, because if like one person out of the 10 people gets like a really bad gift, then it kind of really sucks for that one person.
Yeah.
So I think it's just better to do like a grab bag where it's like anybody could get anyone's gift, and then you do like the fighting over the gifts kind of thing, or however you arrange it.
Yeah.
Sorry. But anyway, so I don't know. For me, like I don't care about gifts. Like I would just like friends to show up and like celebrate with me.
Right.
And that's like the best present.
But like it's like you're basically saying like it's almost worse to like get a bad gift than no gift.
Well, yeah, because
it's just like, wow, you clearly don't know me. Like,
well, it depends. So
it can be
it's
insulting.
Like, the gift is like okay, but you're just like, I don't really need this. It's not like I don't like it.
Oh.
Okay, so if you hear that, that is Reggie. Hi, buddy.
I'll bring him over here if he will let me.
Renee and Tim got a new kitten today. His name is, he's running away. His name is Sir Reginald Floofbottom III. I think he's also a professor of biochemistry or something.
Is he?
Oh, he told me that. Was he lying?
No, he probably is.
But anyway, he's also been knighted, obviously. He's a sir. Well, now he wants to rest. Oh, so anyway, he was meowing. He meows in an interesting way. He's quite young. Very accomplished for a young cat.
He wants to be in his crate right now.
So, yeah, he was resting, but he woke up and was like, where is everybody? Why isn't that boy chasing me around anymore?
Yeah, he's a cutie.
Yeah.
He got home and after about 5 minutes pooped on the corner of our dining room.
Still didn't indicate who pooped. You really need to work on these pronouns.
Okay. Reggie, Sir Reginald.
You're like, we got home and we pooped.
Okay, I think it will become clear when I say about it, but whatever.
Hopefully.
Sir Reginald came home his first time in the apartment, and he hid behind our bar in the corner and pooped, and the poop was like up on the wall and on the floor. And I was like, seriously? As soon as we got here, I showed you your litter box. I put you in it, and then 3 minutes...
Sorry, guys. We overloaded again. Hopefully we'll work out our difficulties before we come back for season 2.
Yeah, or not. It's just part of our charm. Everyone loves a podcast that just gets cut off like 6 times.
Pikachu!
What emotion was that?
Angry.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, so yeah, he just pooped on the ground and it was gross, and it looked like melted milk chocolate.
Nasty.
Yeah, so but
Sorry, friends, it happened again. So anyway, moving back to the birthday parties, I think it's more like, for me, I don't, like, if you just get stuff you don't really need, or you're like, oh, it's all right, it's fine. But I mean, I'm always appreciative of people's gifts. I'm just like,
yeah, it's always
I don't
nice
need
when
it.
people give
Like,
gifts.
people don't need to buy me gifts. I'm like, if you just come and celebrate with me, or we do something together.
Your presence is present enough.
Yeah, and if you can't come to the party, that's fine too. But then, like, maybe we can get together another time or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm also never, like, mad at someone who can't come to one of my things.
No, of course.
It's more like if you have a friend who never comes or who's, like, always, like, putting you second or who keeps saying they're going to come and then they don't show up, that's, like, when it gets upsetting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't say I've really had any, like, bad... Well, okay. I don't know if I'll talk about this now. I'll talk about this later when we talk about surprise parties, but...
okay.
I wouldn't say I really have had many bad birthday parties, but yeah, like, I have gotten some, like, not great gifts. Like, one time someone came to my birthday party and they gave me, like, what was clearly a used Snuggie that was, like, covered in animal hair. And I'm like, could have at least given it a little lint roller or something. Like, I don't mind secondhand gifts, but come on, like, I could have been allergic for all you know.
Maybe they also could have bought it from, like, a thrift shop or something.
And not looked.
And not looked in the box, because if they had...
Yeah,
if
it's
they had
possible.
kept the box. But,
What's the worst present you ever got?
I don't know, but remember you also got, you were, like, with your friend when she had a birthday party, or, like, you went to her family birthday dinner, and she got a thing of, like, lip smackers from her
Yeah, it was,
aunt.
like, a 30 vault of, like, different flavored lip smackers.
And then didn't she give you, like, 2 of them?
No, she gave me the whole thing.
Oh, she gave you the whole thing? Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's nice. But you were still, like, she got this from her aunt. She just gave it to me.
Yeah, but whatever. I mean, looking back, it's like, I think I told her, like, oh, that's really cool. And she, like, didn't really like it, so she just gave it to me. I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's a little awkward when the person knows you're regifting it and you're doing it, like, as their present.
Right.
It would have been one thing if in that moment she was like, I'm probably not going to use it. You can have it.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, I don't think regifting is really a problem because it's just, like, to me, it's more about, like, being responsible about how much waste you're having and stuff and, like, what you're really
Yeah, I don't
gonna
mind
use.
regifting, and I don't mind getting gifts that were clearly regifted, but it's just, like, it is, yeah, kind of awkward. Like, don't give me something I gave you. Or
Yeah.
something that I watched you open. That's just kind of awkward.
For me, I mostly like useful gifts. Like, if you are going to get me something, I like it to be something that I'm going to use, like a Starbucks gift card. Because
Yeah.
I spend thousands of
I agree.
dollars
Like,
at Starbucks.
I really prefer, honestly, my favorite types of gifts. Well, like, it depends. Like, if it's, like, really thoughtful, obviously I'm going to love it. But, like, for most people, I would just prefer, like, a gift card to, like, the movies or, like, to the nail salon. Because I'm going to use those, and, like you said, I just have so much junk in my house already that even if you get me, like, a really nice, like, beautiful figurine or something, like, I just might not have a place for it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it becomes like a responsibility to have to own this extra stuff. And I'm like, oh, and like shirts and clothes, like, I don't mind getting clothes, but I am always like a little wary about giving clothes because you just like never really know if it's someone's style.
Although I feel like every time we've given people clothing, they've loved it so much.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good about it, but it's just
we haven't
hard.
done it much, but I feel like it was like our one friend and then our cousin, and she's always like super loves all the stuff we get.
Yeah, well, it's like anytime it has a cat on it, she loves it.
It was cute because we got her a sweater and it was like meowie Christmas and it had a cat, and then she opened it and she was like, oh my god, and she like ran upstairs to change into it in the middle of
Opening her Christmas
present. So I was like,
presents.
that's the sign of a good gift.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't even care about the rest of her presents. She was like, I have to put this sweater on immediately.
Yeah.
And then she would wear it like all year.
Yeah.
Hey girl, I know you're listening. Actually, she's like 2 episodes behind, she told me.
And I told Jess, like, I'm like, whenever she gets me, like, clothes or a sweater, and every time I, like, wear it and I'm around her, I'm like, oh, does it make you feel good that I'm, like, wearing this shirt you got me? And she was like, I got you that. And I was like, oh, I guess it doesn't really matter to you. But it always does make me feel good when I see people, like, wearing, like, if they like the clothes you got. Honestly, like, even
Yeah, I
at the
like giving
holiday times,
presents.
like, I really do prefer giving presents to getting. And I'm like, I know everyone, like, people say that and they think it's, like, BS, but I'm like, no, like, when you buy someone a really good present, it's, like, such a nice feeling. Because you just feel like you really know them and you've done good.
Yeah, it makes it, I agree. I like to give presents more than get them. I mean, I like getting presents. Who doesn't? And if it's a really, really great gift, you love it. But it's also like, I would be fine if I never got another present again.
Yeah,
Like, I would just
exactly.
want to spend time with people and for them to show appreciation to me and, like, to just be around each other and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think another thing that could potentially make, like, parties bad is if you have not a lot of people show up. So
Yeah, of course.
that's happened to me before. I mean, it's happened to Renee. I remember, like, there were times where you would have parties and stuff and you would, like, get upset that people weren't coming. But it was
Well, the thing about my birthday is it's in the end of January, which, like, I've looked it up, and historically is usually, like, one of the coldest days in New Jersey where we live. And there's a lot of times there's snow, and people will be like, oh, I don't know if I can come because it gets snowing. It'll be like 3 flurries. And I'm like, seriously? Come on. I'm like, I'll drive to your house and bring you here. But, like, don't not come because there's a tiny bit of snow when, like, you don't even know if it's going to be snowing.
Girl, you can't do that. She keeps looking at the cat, but you're, like, pulling yourself away from the microphone.
I'm sorry. I'm just checking on him. I think he's just sitting in his tree now. So he's good. Well, I don't want him to, like, get into something.
That's what Tim's for. Yeah, but the thing is, you also would do this thing, because I remember saying it to you, and it was, like, a thing that was happening, where you would wait until the very last minute to invite people. And I was like, I think you're doing this because you want to have a good excuse for them to not show up. So then you were like, yeah, so then you started inviting them more in advance. I think, like, 3 weeks to a month is, like, pretty much a good time to give people an invite for a party.
Jess used to always do this thing at any party we would have, and I don't even know if it was just birthday parties, but she would, like, let's say you're, like, kind of talking to, like, 2 or 3 guys. She would, like, invite all the guys. And she'd always tell me, like, invite this guy, invite this guy. I'm like, I'm not going to invite this guy that I like when I'm, like, here with this other guy. And she's like, just invite them. And then our parties would always be, like, major sausage fests.
Yeah,
and, like, all the guys would be like, I'm like, this is not a good idea, Jess. Like, you shouldn't just invite every single person you know to every party you have. Like,
okay, do you remember, like, my 21st birthday party? And I don't remember who the guy was, but he was some guy that we had met, like, somehow. Maybe at the bowling alley or something. I don't know if maybe he was one of those guys. But, like, he came with a girl, and I was like, oh, that's never happened before. Like, I think we were just, like, friendly with him. But usually they come with, like, guy friends, or they'll come as, like... But I guess he just, like, wasn't interested in us. It was, like, his girlfriend, though. So maybe we're like, yeah, bring your girlfriend.
I don't remember that happening.
Well, like, we were all, like, drinking. Well, I mean, you weren't drinking or anything, but...
Of course, I was only 18.
The rest of us were drinking. So I'm surprised you don't remember. So you're so clear-headed.
I mean, I have a bad memory. So... What?
Yeah, so anyway,
But wait, did we have any more to talk about? I feel like one time I have to talk to you about, I remember you were, like, saying something to Mom, I think it was, like, 2 or 3 years ago, and you were, like, upset that people weren't coming to, like, your birthday weekend, and then she was like, well, 27-year-olds don't usually have birthday parties.
No. This is what it was. Okay, it was... I wanted to go for a birthday dinner. It was like a family birthday dinner. I wanted to go to Friendly's, and I wanted to get, like, the giant crowd pleaser, which is, like, the 12 scoop of ice cream sundae.
Yeah.
To, like, share. And we went, but my mom, like, only invited, like, her younger brother's family, because they were, like, 2 little kids. It's, like, our 2 younger cousins.
Right.
And it was basically the 2 younger cousins and my aunt that came. And so it was, like, you and me and those guys and Mom. And I was like, oh, no one else that came. And Mom's like, well, I only invited, like, Kay and the kids. And I was like, oh. I was like, well, that's weird. Like, it's my birthday. Like, why didn't you invite other people? And she's like, well, you're a little old for birthday parties. And I was like, ugh. But then I was like, well, I guess that's true.
You were basically like, that's fair.
Or maybe it was the time we went to AC and, like, no one came. I don't know. But yeah, it was, like, either that. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So then for my 30th birthday, like,
oh yeah, that was probably your best birthday party, duh.
I mean, it was a good surprise. But for my 30th birthday, our friend was like, or my roommate / best friend was like, what are you gonna do for your 30th? And
Did you just say / best friend?
Yeah. Anyway.
Interesting.
She was like, what are you going to do for your 30th? And I was like, nothing. And she was like, really? I was like, I don't know, maybe go to the beach or something. Like, no one really comes when I throw birthday parties. I was like, whatever. No one really comes, and, like, I'm getting old for birthday parties. Like, I don't need to do a big thing. And I really genuinely, like, didn't care. I was like, I'll just do a beach thing. Because my birthday is the beginning of June, so, like, the beach season's in effect, and it's, like, fun.
And it's always a crazy time for, like, me, because, like, with the school year's wrapping up, and, like, a lot of people, it's, like, with their first, like, weekend that they go to the pool, like, or whatever, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But I'm, like, I was literally, like, fine with it, you know? So then that's what I put together, and a bunch of friends were like, yeah, we'll come. And I was like, I basically was like, guys, it's girls only, like,
And that's when we did the scavenger hunt, right?
No.
Oh,
that was, like, a year before we did it. But I was like, I'm single, so I don't really want to be, like, celebrating my birthday with a bunch of couples, which is, like, what all my friends are. So I was like, just girls. And a bunch of girls came, and it was really fun. But then we were going on a cruise that summer, and I hosted a cruise orientation where I gave everyone all the details they ever wanted and didn't want to know about the cruise we were going on.
Yep, there were maps, there was gift bags, there were raffles. If you asked questions, phone lists.
Yeah, everything was on there. And then my roommate was like, / best friend was like, oh, we're gonna have food. Like, JD bought a bunch of food. We're gonna barbecue at the house. But we were like a half mile to like a mile away at our other friend's house where we were hosting the orientation. And everyone's like, we'll go over there and do that. And I was like, guys, just bring the food here. Like, we can cook the food here. Like,
yeah.
Why are you going over there?
And basically, like, at the end of the orientation, everyone was like, everyone's like looking at their watches, like, when is this orientation gonna be over? And it ends, and we like all ran out as fast as we could.
Everyone
and Jess was like,
out,
what the
hell? I was like, what? Really? They were like, oh, I'll get this, I'll get that. And they just like all run away. And I was like, okay, seriously? Like, you could have just brought the food here. It doesn't even make any sense. And then as we're walking out of the house, the screen door closes on my heel and like gives me a gash on my heel. So I'm like, oh, crud. And it was like so painful and it was gushing blood. So then my friend is helping me clean it up. And then her and my mom and I are driving over to our house. And I'm carrying like 4 or 5 bags. And they're like, come out on the deck. And I go out and everyone's like, surprise. And I was so surprised. I had no idea. Oh my God!
Another surprise!
I had a feeling this was what was going to happen.
So I just presented Jess with her birthday cake that I made for her. But her surprise party was really fun. She was totally shocked, and we had made her this really cute book where I like got everyone to send me things that they love about Jess, and then I compiled them into like a binder, and our other friend illustrated some pictures, and it was 30 things we love about Jess, or 30-ish things we love about Jess, and it was really cute.
It was.
So anyway, this cake that I made for Jess, I'll put a picture on Instagram, but it's a white cake that has been dyed rainbow. So there's a red layer at the bottom, and that's topped with an orange vanilla buttercream. And then there's a yellow layer that's topped with a green banana buttercream.
Oh.
And then there's a blue, and then the whole thing is coated with purple coconut buttercream.
Oh my god!
So you can give it. I haven't tried it all together.
Okay.
Oh.
That's amazing. It looks beautiful. I actually really, really, really love it. She did show me the cake before, but I could only see the outside was purple, which I just thought like, okay, it's either rainbow or it's just like different colors of purple because purple's my favorite.
Yeah.
But it's really amazing. So we're actually going to cut to commercial while we try our cake, and then we'll let you know how it tastes when we get back.
All right. See you in a
This week's podcast is brought to you by the Beefy Boys. Just 3 cool dudes hanging out, talking about sports, video games, music, and whatever else they feel like. Find them at their website, www.beefyboys.com. Also, where you find your other podcasts, iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, you know, all the regulars. The Beefy Boys, the best show on planet Earth.
Okay, we're back.
So, how'd you like the cake?
It was really, 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 really good.
Thank you.
And very, 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 very pretty.
Thank you. So, yeah, I told Jess I'm still
Thank
perfecting
you.
my cake recipe, but I'm pretty good at frosting, so. But I did think it came out pretty. I would have maybe next time done the layers a little thinner.
The cake layers?
Yeah. But I only had 1 pan, so it was like, it was tough.
Okay, yeah, it was really good. I give it
enjoyed.
2 thumbs up.
Nice. Wait, out of just your thumbs?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if it was out of like 10 people's thumbs, that wouldn't be that much. So I just wanted to clarify. Like last night we were at Hibachi for Jess's birthday dinner, and Finn was
God.
like, the rice came out, and Finn's like to the chef, I give this like a 5 out of 10. And I was like, Finn, that's like, and he's like, I give this like a 9 out of 10. I was like, okay, that's better. And then later we asked him like what he would give the restaurant, and he's like, I give it like a 10 out of 20. And we're like, oh, so like a 5 out of 10. I don't know why he said that. He ate the food and he even ate the vegetables. So
And it's cute because they like ask who wants it, and he was like, I'll take a little.
yeah, well, he knew he had to.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he just like chose that.
Yeah,
That's cute. That's fun.
yeah, he's a good boy.
So while we were also on commercial break, Renee got a text confirming her reservation for this delicious restaurant that we're going to go to tomorrow, where my mom is taking me. He's like, why aren't you playing with me? Meow, meow. Lonely meow is what the
I know.
closed captioning would say.
Yeah,
Anyway, so it's called the Garlic Rose, and it's like so delicious, especially if you love garlic, which we do. And if you ever play Candy Crush Soda Saga, so delicious.
That's so terrible.
It's
so delicious. Anyway, yeah, it's really good. And they have this delicious dessert called almond crunch cake, which is like a tiramisu but with amaretto and like almond stuff. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really, really, really delicious. No, and they have this bread dip that's like olive oil and some herbs,
rosemary, and garlic,
cheese,
Parmesan cheese.
and it's amazing. It's so good.
It's pretty good.
So
we're going there for Jess's
excited. Thank you, Mama Lee,
second
for
supper.
taking us.
Yes, we're really excited. Thanks,
Second
Mama Lee.
supper, but it's really like 2 days later. It's just originally Mama Lee wasn't going to be able to come to my birthday dinner, the like party I had with friends and other family.
And it's just like funny on a side note, we went to this hibachi restaurant and it's like it's like in this sort of like strip mall thing. I don't know how to describe it really, but it's kind of like there's an interior part. So the windows to the hibachi, it like looks like it's daytime out because there's artificial lights from this sort of mall, but you don't really like notice them. They just look like daylight. So I'm like, oh man, I feel so tired. And I'm thinking it's like 8 o'clock and I look at my watch, it's like 10:30. And I was like, okay, that makes sense then. Like I keep getting fooled by the light.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Were you
we like
blinded by the light?
No, I was just fooled by it.
Okay.
I was confused by the light.
Another person who was confused was one of our friends who she had gone to a wine festival earlier in that day, like a little wine tasting thing. And she got
whacked.
She got really drunk and she kept saying that she was whacked. And everyone's like,
She's like, we were like at this place and then I got whacked. And we're like, what are you saying?
I don't think that means what she thinks it means.
There's a lot of ways to say you got drunk. Like you could say, I got wasted, I got sloshed, I was 3 sheets to the wind, I was blackout, like whatever, like, but not whacked.
Wrecked.
Yeah, you could say I was
think
wrecked.
She wanted to say wrecked.
Yeah.
But then she was just insistent on saying
Or
whacked.
lit, whatever. Like.
And she said it like 6 times and then Eileen was like, I don't think you're using that.
I mean, we all got the point.
It was just so funny because it was just a theme. So now we're like, okay, that's what it's called. When you get drunk, you're getting whacked.
You get whacked and waddle stomp.
Yeah, fun times. So we're gonna talk a little bit about like what we call birthday culture. So,
oh wait, just I thought too of I remember one year you got this like kind of lame birthday present. Sorry, Mama Lee. It was like this Precious Moments bank thing. Do you remember that?
No, it wasn't a bank. It was a figurine, and it was sweet, but it was just like, I think I was like 17 or something.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was like a little like Precious Moments person like holding like a rainbow. It's because I really like rainbows.
Yeah,
but, like,
that's true.
I'm also not into tchotchkes, but I mean, I think she like realized that she doesn't really like get us. This year she got me a carry-on suitcase, which I was like wanting, so it's amazing, and also a really cute mug that's like a Gemini, and it has the little Gemini symbol and then stars. And it's really, really, really cute. It's from Avon, but she said she was trying to get them for, like, other people, like you and maybe Eileen and stuff, but they, like, had sold out.
Oh.
So I guess she was like, I'm going to get these for everybody, but then they didn't have them.
So she just got yours. Well, that makes sense.
It's really cute, though.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but it sounds cute.
I don't usually use mugs often, but I like to use them as, like, decorations on my desk. And, like, put pens in them or, like...
Right, decorative mugs, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a good one for that. Or even if you put it onto, like, a bookshelf or something.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, but anyway, so
like
moving on to our birthday culture.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a little bit like our pet peeves, but not always. So one thing that some people are really, really, really into, I don't know why I keep saying really, I'm like saying it really a lot. Some people are really obsessed with like celebrating their birthday on the actual day of their birthday.
Yeah, not me.
Me either.
I don't care. I'll celebrate my birthday like in March.
Honestly, I feel that way about any celebration.
Every holiday.
I
told you last year Tim and I went to Father's Day like in the end of July. Because I was like working weekends. So I was like, here's the first day I can celebrate Father's Day with you.
When she's talking about celebrating a holiday, she goes to that holiday. That's how she celebrates.
Went to Father's Day dinner.
You could just say, we celebrated Father's Day.
Whatever, Jess. Oh my God, you're so nitpicky.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm nitpicky, but so are you. I'm nitpicking about how nitpicky you are and how you nitpick at the fact that I'm too nitpicky with you when you're nitpicky.
I'm wiggling like that. Okay, anyway.
Anyway, let's just move on.
Yeah, so I don't really
Anyway.
care about that stuff. Like, I would celebrate my birthday any day. Hopefully it won't be snowing.
Do you like to celebrate your birthday? Okay. I don't,
Do
obviously.
you like birthdays?
No,
Is that what
the
you
reason I
mean?
asked that is because I seem like I am obsessed with my birthday. But
'Cause you
I'm
talk about it all
not.
the time.
I just really like being the center of attention.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't really care about my birthday, and that's why I really wouldn't care if, like, I didn't have a birthday party. It's just more, like, a good excuse for me to, like, tell everyone not tell everyone what to do, but be like, this is the thing we're doing, and I pick the thing, and then they all kind of, like, have to do it because they're my friends. And then we all have a good time, but it's like, ooh, and then actually it was fun because we started singing last night, and then I was like, louder, guys. It actually got really loud. But it was
to
fun.
sing you happy
and then
birthday?
when you guys were like cheering for, because then I told Finn that he could blow out my candle because he's really into blowing out candles, and I was like, come over here, and he wasn't really paying attention. So then they were like vocalizing and cheering, like until he blew the candle out, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was just fun. It was really fun.
Fun birthday dinner for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Yeah, and I feel the same about all holidays. I don't really care about the day holidays are, or even celebrating. Like, I would be happy just to do nothing.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, I'm not like.
And like we see our friends a lot. Like it'd be one thing if the only day you ever saw your friends was like your birthday, but we see our friends like all the time. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like we see our friends often, but I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, yeah, so if you're planning something, or you're trying to plan like a vacation or something, or like everyone's, or like, okay, like, we're all gonna go away for like a girls trip weekend or whatever, or like a couples trip, and it's gonna be like 4 or 5 couples planning it, and then one person's like, oh well, that's like my grandpa's birthday, and it's not even like necessarily the birthday party. It's like, well, we're planning this like 5 months in advance. Like, couldn't you kind of like try to plan their birthday party to be on a different day?
Yeah.
And so to me, like, that's always weird. Or they'll be like, that's my mom's birthday. That's my
Or they'll
brother.
be like, you didn't even text me on my birthday.
Yeah, I don't really care about that either.
I'm really bad about it because it doesn't matter to me. So
Yeah.
like, and of course like it's nice. Like I like on my birthday like to get a lot of notifications on Facebook, but like I never would like keep a mental tally of like who texted me and who didn't.
Right.
And I don't really like respond because then like it doesn't. I appreciate it in my own quiet way, but I know like that's probably something I should work on for other people because a lot of people do like check and care about that stuff.
Yeah, for like, well, it's nice because like for our main crew, like we have a group chat and usually always someone posts something, so then it's like everybody else just is like, yeah, happy birthday, and it's
right?
fine. I don't really do anything on Facebook except for like you guys, like you and Mom basically are the only people I
Yeah,
really
and
say
I don't even
anything
think I put one up for you yesterday. I was like thinking about it, and then I forgot.
Yeah, you didn't. No, I actually didn't even. I
No,
was like,
because
did
we
you?
were like I was working all day.
Yeah.
Like I was at work at like 5:30 in the morning, and then I went right to my other job, and then we went right to your dinner, and then went right to bed. So it was like
Yeah.
I didn't even like have time to do it.
Yeah, I really don't. I get it. I don't keep track of that. Like, I know like a famous movie, and it's similar, like related to the theme, is like 16 Candles, where she wakes up and like everyone forgot her birthday, and then she just has like a bad day and stuff. And my roommate / best friend was telling me about. So I'm calling her my roommate / best friend because she is one of my best friends, and basically a bunch of my other friends were saying it was weird that I call her my roommate, but I just feel like that, I guess because they were like, it means you're less good friends with her, but I was like, I don't know, I feel like it means our relationship is more intimate.
Well, I guess because people don't realize that like you were friends
really good
who
friends
like, lived
first.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
I thought
so
you're just like some random roommate.
one of my close friends was saying that one year, like, her mom forgot her birthday, and she was like really upset about it, and I was like, I don't think I would really be upset. I think if someone didn't say it to me, I would just be like, I would say something about it myself before they
Yeah, I'm like I would
had-
never let anyone forget my birthday because I'm just like it's my
like,
birthday
"It's my
Friday.
birthday."
Yeah,
Like, I
like,
would say it probably as soon as I
If you
woke up
care,
and be
yeah.
like, but I mean, understood what she was saying. She had some other things she was saying about birthdays in general, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, so you were kind of like,
and of course it depends. Like
And
if
as a
I was like
teenager,
12 and like
yeah.
people forgot my birthday, I'm sure I would care more.
yeah, I was like, if I was like an angsty like 13, 14-year-old, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying too. I was like, I think just now it's hard because I know I wouldn't care now. I'd just be like,
Yeah.
by the way.
And, like, my birthday's, like, good enough timing-wise because, like, obviously Joe's birthday's, like, right after Christmas. So that, like,
Yeah.
gets just lost in the holiday shuffle. My birthday, I feel like, besides being, like, the coldest, snowy day of the year, it's great, like, timing otherwise because it's, like, you've had your Christmas holiday and then you get, like, your own birthday holiday. Because, like, having a summer birthday is fun, but I feel like the summer's already, like, fun.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't need, like, a special thing. But, like, the dark, cold nights of January, that's, like, when you need a little something. So,
But also, and then your birthday was fun because you were able to do, like, indoor pool parties, which always were, like, super fun because people were like, oh, yeah, like, a lot of people...
a pool party in January?
Yeah, and a lot of people, like, they don't do swimming lessons during the year and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. So
So
they don't
they'd
get
be
to
like,
swim at all.
oh, I've been itching to go swimming for the past 6 months or 4 months or whatever.
Yeah.
And now they get to, and they're just like, yeah. But for me, it was always fun because we always did, like, barbecue type things or
Yeah,
picnics.
like
And it was just, like,
lakes.
fun. We like that kind of stuff, so.
Right. And Joe, like, never had birthday parties.
I mean,
I'm, like, seriously thinking back right now. I'm like, I don't really remember him having birthday parties that much. Did he?
I also feel like he didn't really have friends.
Sorry, Joe. But even, like, family birthday
was
parties,
really,
I feel
really
like
shy.
we just, like, didn't really have birthday parties for him.
No, he would because I remember.
I guess it would just blend in with the holiday
It
dinners
would be at
and
Nana's
stuff.
house because I remember the last time because basically when we were younger we would always get a present as well, like a small
Right.
thing, and our grandma sells Avon, so it would always be usually like an Avon gift. And I remember I was like 12, I think, when the last, and it was just always like a dinner at her house or something.
Right.
And it was like the last year, and she was like, "This is the last year you get the presents on your siblings' birthdays." And I was like, "Oh man." So
Yeah.
but yeah, like, and then he would always get upset because, like, while he was opening his gifts, that would be when sometimes people would say to him, "Oh, your Christmas present was a duel."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I wish they would just tell me, like, when I first get it, like, this is both of your presents."
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but either way, like, you always want video games, and you're not gonna get,
2 video games.
you're not gonna get a video game for each thing. So it would either be that they're gonna give you a present from 2 people for each thing, or one present. And you
Right.
just get it.
Yeah, which is whatever.
I mean, maybe they should have done it like where they share, like a couple uncles go in on one video game because then he could at least open stuff at the birthday.
Yeah, true.
And maybe, I don't know, just like that because it's tough.
Yeah.
But anyway, so how do you feel about like surprise parties? You guys threw me a surprise party. I'm fine with surprise parties.
Okay, this is what I was going to talk about earlier. I like surprise parties. Like, sure, it's nice to be surprised, but Jess threw me a surprise party once when I was in middle school. And before we went to the party, she was like having me try on her bra.
It was like,
Oh, wait, it stopped again. What does it say this? What?
okay, it actually didn't stop. It was just telling us something. Anyway,
Okay,
Going
so
on.
Jess had me try on her bra.
he's over here.
And then she was like, oh, you should wear this because her, like, breasts were a lot bigger than mine. I was, like, 13. And, I mean, they're still bigger than mine. So it was basically, like, a big push-up bra. And I was, like, wearing it. So it made my boobs look, like, really big. And then I was wearing this, like, camp t-shirt that we owned. Like, it was, like, a yellow t-shirt. It had, like, a grease stain on it. And she was like, we're going to go out to, like, the office, which was, like, a place we went to lunch a lot. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, well, I'm going to, like, I don't know. She was like, just wear the bra. Like, it's funny. So I, like, wore it. And then it was, like, a surprise party for me with, like, all my friends from middle school. And I was like, that is so embarrassing. Like, I looked like, first of all, I had a grease stain on my shirt. And then these, like, fake boobs. I'm like, they're going to think I, like, did this, like, I was like, oh my god. This is like the boy I liked, and then a bunch of people who were like mean to me because I had frenemies back then. So that was like my one experience with surprise parties that was not so great.
Yeah, I don't.
Could have at least had me change or something.
I don't even know. I guess I thought it was funny. Did they say something about it though?
What are they gonna say? We weren't fake boobs. Like, they didn't say anything to my face. I'm sure they probably said something about it.
Maybe they didn't even think about it.
They might not have noticed, but it was just like so embarrassing for me.
Sorry. I don't know why.
So
I
it was
did
like
that.
traumatic, and it was funny because like I was like walking in and I saw like one of my friends and I'm like, oh, that person's here. I was like, oh, that person's here too. And then I'm like, oh my god, it took me like a second to like realize, oh, this is a surprise party. And it just that's pretty funny when you have that like realization, because I'm like, oh, this person's here, oh, this person's also here, oh, this person too. And I'm like, oh my god, they're obviously here for me.
So do you like surprise? Well, I feel like I remedied that by helping orchestrate your surprise proposal because I made sure that you did look nice that day
That's true.
and had a manicure.
Yeah, I like surprise parties. I mean, I'm fine with it. I could go either way. Like, I like surprise parties, but I'm not, like, I don't care about prizes.
Yeah, like, you
I don't
don't
have to
need
be
it.
surprised, but like I'm not mad if I'm surprised.
I kind of prefer not to be surprised, to be honest, because a lot of times I'm like super adamant about not caring of looking like a total like schlub or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and like no one would really be able to convince me, so they'd either have to like make it seem that we were going to a place that was like of equal niceness to how I would look if I was going to this kind of surprise party
Right.
for myself. Or
Yeah, that's tricky.
But I'd probably just honestly prefer that I know. But it was really, really nice to get the surprise
It's like
party.
walking on the bench over here. Oh. What did he do?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay, crazy boy.
Anyway,
I was like, what is that thumping?
so basically we were just going to quickly touch on some of the other things like associated with gift giving etiquette.
Yeah, so how I know how you feel about opening presents at parties.
I hate opening presents at parties because I have a really bad poker face, and I'm always appreciative of any gift that anybody gives me because, like, again, I don't care about gifts, and I'm always, like, just grateful that someone came and they got me a present. It's really nice. But I'm really bad at looking like I'm really excited about a gift if I'm not. Like,
Right.
I'm just really
And when
bad
you
at
are really excited about a gift, it sounds like you're faking it.
Yeah, like I always tell people, I'm really bad at sounding sincere because when I'm actually excited genuinely, I just sound really phony.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of like a lose-lose for you.
Yeah.
But what do you think about like a kid's
And
birthday
I was
parties?
actually going to text Renee yesterday and be like, don't tell me to open my gifts.
But I did.
But then she was the one who did it because I was like, if someone else does it, I'm not going to be like, no. But usually Renee's like, open your gifts. And I'm like, why are you torturing me?
Well, I like
And
it.
then she's like, read the cards. And then my cousin like wrote me a card and it was like handmade. And I was like, I'll read this one privately. And she was like, thank you. But it was just like a cute
Cute
It was
message.
just a nice message. It wasn't like anything embarrassing, I would think, but
Well, apparently you
unless
don't know
she's
what's
embarrassing
embarrassing.
to spend time with me. Oh. No, I'm just kidding. I just think it was like intimate, like, you know, it was like a private, like,
Yeah, it's fine.
friend message. And she was like, I don't want everyone to read that. But then, of course, my mom only was like, okay, let me read it. I was like, Lorelai's watching.
Yeah, I think it's nice when people open presents because I like to see what they got and see their reactions.
Yeah,
I
that's
like to
often
watch
the
people
feeling.
open presents. Like, not when they're like 1,000 presents, but like if it's a small birthday party, yeah. But I know like most kids' birthday parties now, kids don't open presents. So, like Tim thinks that's really weird.
That they don't open the presents?
Yeah. But I feel like it makes more sense for kids because like the kids can get jealous or like they're not gracious about the gifts. Like we're very lucky because Finn's like very gracious about getting any kind of gift. Like, you know that video of that little boy who gets like an avocado?
Yeah. It's like,
And he's like, avocado! And that's like I feel like how Finn is. Like even if it's like something he's already gotten, he'll be like, oh, I have this at my mom's house. And he's like, but now I can have two and I can have one here and have extra pieces. And like, so it's nice because
Yeah.
he's not like, oh, and just like throws it to the side. Even if it's something he doesn't really like, he'll still do that. Even without us being like, oh, say something nice about it. So,
Yeah. He's very gracious.
Yeah, so that's good.
But I think the other problem with a lot of kids' birthday parties, especially if you throw them at places, it's just really short. Like usually there's only
Yeah,
like
there's
an
not
hour
enough
for
time.
the like cake and pizza time, and that's really not enough time to open like the presents if you have like 15 kids.
Yeah, that's true.
And it gets boring, like just
Yeah.
watching kids open presents. So
And then they just want to like play with their presents and
I
not
think
like
if it
do
was
their
like
party.
at your own house, you could do it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it just depends. So then the other thing I guess is that some people are very anti-gift card, but we had already said that we like getting gift cards.
Yeah, I
So,
like gift cards for sure.
yeah, I feel like they're useful. And like the teacher I was working with this semester, she got me a gift and it was like a bunch of school supplies that were purple, and she got me a gift card to the movies. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's super thoughtful.
Yeah, like I remember when I like babysat like with an old family, I would like babysit them a couple days a week, and they got me like a gift card to like a nail salon that I like the one I would go to. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I must have obviously mentioned it to them, but I didn't like talk about it all the time, and I had never brought them there. So it was just like really nice because it was like, oh, that's so thoughtful. Like you took the time to go to this nail salon that's not in your town and like get me
Yeah.
this gift card because you know I would use it. It was
That's
really
like
nice.
my aunt did that for my 30th. She kept asking me under the guise of trying to get her nails done. And she was like, where's the place? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, if you're really particular, like, I don't know if it's good. But I was like, I like it, but I also am, like, not super particular. And she was like, well, which one is it? And then she just was like, I needed to know so I can get you the gift card. And I was like, oh my gosh. Because it also, like, where she was staying, it wasn't, like, the closest one. And I was like, you don't have to go out of your way to go to this one. I just really like it. I don't think everyone thinks it's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really funny.
So it was funny. And then birthday cards. Some people, Momily has said that she has kept every single card that every person has ever given her, which I think is pretty amazing. I have a lot of cards that I've kept for a really long time. But this happened because one year I got a birthday card from my mom, and it had a gift card in it, and I basically took the gift card out, and then I threw the card in the garbage. And we lived together, so my mom saw the card in the garbage.
Right.
And she got really, really upset. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry, like, whatever.
You're like, I read it.
I think the other thing was that my dad had gotten me the same exact card, but he had put, like, a personalized message in the card.
Right.
So usually I don't keep cards if they just say, like, love, whatever. Because I'm like, okay, that's a nice card. It's a nice message. But the messages are usually typically the same, whatever.
Right.
But if they, like, write a nice message, I'll be like, oh, okay, like, I'll keep it because it's, like, a note from a person.
Right. Like a little letter.
So I basically had already had a copy of that card. But I'm
Right.
sure it was more salt in the wound that I kept a card from my dad and threw out her card. And then she did make a good point where she said that she spends a lot of time curating the cards that she gets people.
Right. So it's not like she
she's
just
like,
picked any birthday
the
card.
message I'm giving you is
Like, I picked this one specifically
the
for you.
message. That's
Right.
why I don't write a long message.
Yeah, which makes sense. But yeah,
So now
I guess
I keep all her cards.
I guess I hadn't really thought of it that way because same, like, I would probably just pick any card that I'm like, oh, this is kind of cute, they'd like this, and then I just, like, write a message. But yeah, if you do think about it, like, some of the cards are really nice.
Yeah.
And, like, remember when I got you that card, Jess, for, like, about being a better person?
You were like, congrats. It was, like, for my graduation, I think, right?
Yeah, well, it was just saying, because you were, like, having a hard time, so it just said something like, I think I said, like, who you've been isn't who you have to be. Like, you can move forward, like, any day you choose to, and it was just, like, a motivational card, but I remember you were, like, you really liked it, so.
Yeah.
I mean, for that one, I found one, and I just remember reading it and being like, oh, this is, like, so good. Like, this is something that, would be, like, really helpful to hear. But a lot of times birthday cards are really stupid.
Well, I had, like, it's actually funny because I have a bunch of birthday cards from, like, my 16th birthday.
Okay.
I think I did the same thing and, like, went to the office for, like, dinner or something. Mm-hmm. But my one friend, she would always make, like, she was very, like, artistic. And I always loved rainbows. So she basically, like, made this really nice, like, rainbow card.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it's really pretty. So I kept it. And I was, like, talking to my roommate about it because I basically was like, well, I have that one card. I was like, I think I showed it to you because it was, like, all rainbow. And my friend had, like, made it for me. But then there was another friend who, like, drew, like, a funny picture, and it's, like, an inside joke or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have cards from throughout my life, but usually they're ones that are, like, have a lot of messages or something, or were, like, super sentimental. But now that my mom kind of explained that to me, like, I do keep her cards because I understand more, like, where she's coming from.
Right. I keep most cards, I would say. Like, I have a box of cards, and I keep most of them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if it's just, like, yeah, no, honestly, probably all of them. Because, like, a lot of times our friends will get presents for us, like, together. So it's not, like, every time I have 20 cards, for my birthday. It's only, like, 3 or 4 cards. So it's easy to keep them all.
And then the other thing is sometimes you don't read your card. Like, I was working with this teacher, and I got her a thank you card. And it was basically, like, you make the world a better place. Something like that. Mm-hmm. And then on the inside, it was like, especially my world.
It's like, I thought you meant you were saying to me, like, I don't read cards people get me. And I was like, yes, I do.
No, I was saying, like, I go and buy a
check
card,
it.
and I don't really, like, read it thoroughly. So I was writing, I wrote a little message to her, and then I got to the part where it was like, especially in my world. And I was just like, oh my God.
Like,
so I kind of, like, made a little mark and was like, sorry, this is kind of awkward. I, like, didn't actually read the card. She was cracking up. She thought it was hilarious. I was like, that was so, I was like, well, the card's awkward. She's like, I can't wait. Yeah.
Well, for Valentine's Day, I did sort of the same thing. I saw this card and it was really cute and it had a pun, so I got it for Finn. But then upon closer inspection, I realized it said, when it comes to being great parents, you've got all the qualifications. So I just crossed out parents and wrote, a great kid. Because I was like, I did not realize that it was a card for your parents. But I was like, you like puns.
Yeah.
And then what was another one that I did like that once? Oh, my friend at work, it was like his birthday and I didn't have like any birthday cards. So I had thank you cards on my desk. So I wrote a thank you card and it was like, thank you for being born. And I was like, I didn't have any thank you cards. And he was like telling me.
Birthday cards.
Yeah, birthday cards. And he's like, oh, it was so funny because he was saying that his grandma like used to always just have like random cards. So it would be like happy bar mitzvah and she'd like give it to you for like your confirmation or something like totally like inappropriate, or like it'd be like a card for like a husband's birthday and she'd give it to like her niece and she would just like cross things out and rewrite things. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's silly. Anyway, so I think that's mostly what we're talking about. We're gonna do what's popping at the movies.
Yep. Well, let me see if there's anything else on the agenda.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So this week, Renee and I, we could have gone with the classic, like, 16 Candles. I wanted to go see some movies, but Bird was too busy. So
Sorry.
we decided to just watch a movie, and I chose a Hallmark movie called A Wish Come True.
It was
So-
really bad.
It was amazing. I loved it. It's basically about a girl who makes a birthday wish every year, as you do when you blow out your candle.
She keeps the list written.
Yeah, but also, like, how lame that she only gets one wish. Like, I have usually, like, 12 to 15 birthday celebrations every year. So I'm blowing out a lot of candles. Like, even last night, we went to another friend's house after dinner, and I had a piece of ice cream cake with a candle in it. That's 2 wishes in one day. So...
Have yours ever come true? Maybe you've been too greedy, so they
Yeah,
haven't.
but I'm, like, really, really, really basic. Like, I hope I can breathe another minute or something like that. And then I do it, I'm like, wish came true! Just so I can be like, my birthday wishes always come true. I'll be like, I wish I wouldn't die today or something like that. And then as long as I live, I'm like, sweet, my birthday wish came true again.
Okay, so
I'm 32
her
for
birthday
32.
wishes are like a little more specific than that in the movie. She's like wishes for a puppy and like a special dollhouse. These are like from when she was little. And then when she
Yeah.
got older, she like wished for a new car and like wished for a promotion and like wished for a big house or whatever.
To find her true love.
Yeah, to get rescued by Prince
that kind of
Charming,
stuff.
get kissed by Dean Cain, whatever.
Who's the guy? It's the girl. She's from Life of the... Renee's
Secret
like,
Life of the American
where do
Teenager.
I
keep
know
looking at
this
her. I'm like,
person?
where do I know this person from? Where do I know this person from? And I'm looking on IMDb and I'm like seeing, okay, she's in like a couple Hallmark movies and she's like in some other stuff. And I'm like, maybe I know her from this. And then I finally scroll enough to see that she's Grace Bowman from Secret Life of the American Teenager. And I was like, oh my God, duh. She
So
looks
her
exactly
name
the
is
same.
Megan Park. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks exactly the same. But I just like hadn't watched that show for a while, so I wasn't thinking about it.
Which
yeah.
Renee rewatched that show, and that show was bad.
It is so
That show's
bad.
really, really bad.
Yeah, it's really bad.
This show, I think the acting... I mean, I think
This
the acting
movie?
was okay. This movie.
The writing
The
is just
script was
really,
just really
bad.
dumb.
Okay, can
It
we
was
talk
so
about? Okay, so one basically like it ends up being, of course, like she finds a guy she thinks is her true love, but her best friend ends up being like her true love all along. Whatever. So at one point when it's like her birthday, her best friend is like pushing her to do something new, so they go like rock climbing, like on real rocks, and then like it's so awkward because they're like climbing, and then all of a sudden this guy like comes up next to them.
First they're climbing together, and he's like, I'm so glad I convinced you. And then it like pans to this girl who's like belaying
them,
her.
and it's like his girlfriend.
It's like the guy's girlfriend, and you're like, okay, that's awkward.
And then like this, and then all of a sudden like this guy comes up on the corner, and they're like, he's like, oh hey Dave, and he's like, oh hi, and I'm like, did you like not notice you just happen to be rock climbing right next to each other? Then later in the movie, he's like, remember that guy we ran into while we were rock climbing? Cliff. His name was Cliff. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's like a little on the nose. And it's so ridiculous. So then like and even with the whole rock climbing thing, like if
way
you've
they
ever
go
been
down.
rock climbing, like you know you have a belayer and you're set up on like a system, so it's very safe. So they're like climbing, and then he's like, when you want to get down, just like push off. And she's like, I can't do it. So he like helps her, and then they both just fall to the ground. And then she somehow, despite the fact that he was behind her, she somehow is turned around and on top of him. And I'm like, who was your belayer? Because if you had been more than 5 feet above the ground, you both would have just died.
It was
Like
Dave's
they
girlfriend.
crashed to the ground. Yeah, well maybe that's another Hallmark movie. Saboteur trying to kill my boyfriend. And then it's so weird because then at the end of the rock climbing thing, he's like talking to his girlfriend and she's like, I'm ready to take things to the next level, and he's like, I'm just not ready. And then that's like them breaking up. And I'm like, that was like the most casual breakup.
I think that they weren't actually together.
Well, they had been dating for a few months. The girl said that.
Okay. Because I thought that basically...
And I'm like,
At
and so
first-
he's like, well, she's like, well, when you are ready, just call me. And the movie came out in 2015, but no one had cell phones. Or
No,
like
she
barely.
did, because remember her parents FaceTimed her, but she had like a Android.
Yeah, but she also had an answering machine
Yeah.
with like buttons that played the messages.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when is this movie from? This is very
It
bizarre.
was really weird, but like, no, when she was belaying, she called him sweetheart, so I was like, oh, that's his girlfriend, and I was like laughing, because it pans forward 4 years from the first scene, so you're like, don't really know what's going on with him.
Right.
But then later, I thought that she was saying like, I thought by the car that she made it seem like they were like just rock climbing.
Milking each other. Just making like milking hand motions.
Just
and
rock
milking-
climbing buddies.
No,
And
because
she
then
was like, I want to take it to the next level by start dating. But then, yeah, he was like, they said they were dating for a few months. Whatever.
yeah, so I'm like, that's like really weird.
Another weird thing was the girl finds out when you first go to like the 5 years forward, she finds out that like her boyfriend, who she thought was like the love of her life, I guess, was cheating on her.
And he's like, basically, she walks into his house and he's kissing this girl, and then he's like, it's not what it looks like. What do you want me to say? Okay, it is what it looks like. And she just like isn't saying anything, and the girl's just like standing there, and I'm like, this is seriously how you guys break up.
She's like, surprise, I guess that's my line now.
Yeah, that's what she wanted him to say because she thought he was throwing her
Yeah.
a surprise party.
But anyway,
Yeah, it was really
then
stupid.
She goes back to work, and her work friend is like, her dear friend from work is like, well, stop. What did she say?
She's like basically saying you're always looking for the wrong guy. She's like, you need to stop going out with these hot looking jerks. Hot
Like,
looking.
Who says hot looking? That's
Yeah, it's
so
just
weird.
hot.
Yeah, the writing was just not good. So, but it was like relatively decent actors reading this probably pretty much horrible script.
Yeah.
But some of the acting was weird. Like, she was like, "That's my best friend," and then the Dave guy was like, or she's like, "You'll always be my best friend," and then they hugged and it showed the guy's face, and he was like, "Man."
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect from Hallmark. It was the Hallmark of a bad movie.
It was like
is that it's on
definitely
Hallmark.
probably a thumb and a half down, but I would say go watch it because it was pretty funny.
Yeah, thumb and a half down. I agree. Pretty bad. Really. But there was a puppy, so that
We
redeemed a
ruined
little
the
bit.
cliff thing for you though, because that was probably the funniest moment of the movie.
Yeah, it was really bad.
It was like, remember that guy? Well, the running into him was funny first of all because we're
They're
like,
like, hey! And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, was he like, just climb this whole mountain? Like, it was
he
very
didn't
weird.
notice it, and then cliff. Anyway, all right, guys. So we're gonna wrap up here.
So remember to join us for our birthday party.
Yep, Monday the 17th at 8 p.m. on Facebook.
Yep.
It's facebook.com/DearFeetPodcast. You can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube at Deerfoot Sisters. And you can also go to our website, which is deerfootsisters.com.
Okay, and send
Okay.
us an email. And don't forget to tell a friend.
Yep. We're the Deerfoot Sisters, and we're
We're prancing away.